What up, YouTube Elleix? Come back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast. Today, we have another matchup featuring Warcraft 3 versus StarCraft 2. This is the Azeroth-Koprulu Hyperwar Mod Versus edition. As far as I know, it's still currently in the testing phase. This is a game from their PTR. Let's go ahead and quickly introduce our players. Spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, it's our blue Undead player Kytrion going up against his opponent. Spawning on the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's our purple Zerg player Rosebudio. Both of these players are currently working on this mod. Big shout out to you guys, and I really appreciate you submitting these replays. Without you, I could not make content. Anyway, back to the show. Looks like the Death Knight is already on the way towards the Zerg side of the map. We'll spot that there is a natural base already planted. Nothing unusual to see here. And the Death Knight trying to get a kill on some of these workers, but also aggroing on the Zerglings. I think 2 workers killed so far. These Zerglings doing quite a bit of damage, as well as the drones, actually. One thing to mention about the current version of this mod is the StarCraft 2 factions have extra damage or buffs versus heroes just to balance things out. And look at these ghouls, man. They look so funny mining minerals. They are working very hard. There is a scouting overlord here as well. We'll spot virtually everything that Kytrion is up to. Now, I'm curious if the drones do extra damage against workers. Let's take a look. I don't see. Oh yeah, versus heroic, they do 20 damage. That is insane. Looks like Kytrion saying nice keybind change to all heroes. He loves it. What is going on here? Oh, so they adopted a grid system for the keybinds. Nice. Not bad at all. It looks very, very clean. Anyway, some Zerglings here running towards the natural base location. Not much to defend here other than some ghouls and the Death Knight. How much damage do the Zerglings do against heroic? It doesn't look like they do any extra damage to heroic units, but 20 damage against heroic units for those drones is legitimately insane. I mean, I understand the balance, but that almost seems overtuned. To be fair, like I said, they're still working on the balancing for this mod. Looks like this Death Knight is trying to chase down these Zerglings, but cannot get a shot off. That is kind of hilarious. Some Crypt Fiends here as well. Web ability is not researched yet, so they won't be able to use it on something like an Overlord. And this Overlord, is this... No, this isn't the same scouting one. This is a different one. Oh, man. Looks like Death Coil thrown on this Overlord. I believe it does 200 damage and... 200 damage to a demon unit. No, it heals 200 and it deals 100. But the Overlord... survived 2 shots, and that is because it looks like it's regenerating health too quickly for the Death Knight to actually do a 2-shot on that thing. And you know, the Crypt Fiends, they only shoot down. They could web this thing down, but like I said, it's not researched yet. So this Overlord, the hero Overlord, trying to do way too much. You're not paid enough for this, bro. Don't be a hero. We'll get some scouting in, but we'll get attacked by the creep, the Null Assassin of all things. We'll take out that Overlord. What a troll. Some Zerglings here in the natural base location. Looks like they will get chased away by Kytrion, though. I think Rosebudio could have done more damage. I mean, to be fair, though, the ghouls do attack. Looks like their weapon speed is 0.93. Normal attacks do extra damage against medium armor and reduced damage to fortified armor. Interesting. I wonder if it's like that in vanilla. Like I've said in many casts, I'm more of a StarCraft 2 guy, so I'm still kind of learning the Warcraft 3 mechanics and the meta when it comes to this mod. But whoever thought that we would be thinking about meta when it comes to Warcraft versus StarCraft? You know what I mean? What is going on here? Looks like there was a ping on that Zergling, but I missed the ability. The creeps in the natural base location have been cleaned up. What level is our Death Knight? He is now at level 2. Some creeps here in the 4th base location, though. The 3rd base here is already saturated. Base number 3 saturated as well for our Zerg player. So a relatively even game so far. If you guys are new to my channel, by the way, I do cast and cover almost exclusively modded StarCraft content. So if that's something you're interested in watching more of, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. These Zerglings getting chased away by the ghouls, and night has fallen. Keep in mind, night only really matters for the night elves with their shadow meld ability, but I still like the flavor of a day-night cycle in the StarCraft 2 engine. It looks very cool. These creeps getting cleaned up by Kytrion. It looks like our Death Knight is still at level 2. I think the level up system is also kind of nerfed for the Warcraft 3 players just to balance things out a bit. A lot of purple moving on the map, though. Looks like roaches and Zerglings running towards the natural base location. Oh, man. The Death Knight getting cornered and going down instantly. This army, though, for the Warcraft players looking pretty good. I like the use of the ghouls to support this. Everything going down for the Zerg player almost. At least all the Zerglings have gone down. These roaches able to run away. And I like this. Rosebudio was either on a move or decided specifically that these two roaches should take out the ghoul, and they did. Let's take a look at the workers killed. 3 killed by blue and 2 killed by purple. Taking a look at the resources lost, also relatively even. 2,000 lost by blue and 1,700 lost by purple. The creep tumor here finishing up as well for Rosebudio. There is a 4th base, and I see some movement here as well. It looks like Rosebudio might be thinking about getting a 5th base. Now, you might be wondering, what options do the StarCraft players have in a world where creeps exist and where loot exists, but they can't take advantage of any of those? Well, they can deny experience gained for the Warcraft player by destroying the creeps, and they can also destroy loot items. So that is a nice way to balance things out. From what I've been told, at least, I do know that's also kind of a tactic used, at least where creeps are concerned, is denying experience for your opponent. But it's still cool to see. Anyway, this 3rd base getting attacked. The ghouls getting pulled off the mineral line. Do we have a hero, actually? No, it looks like the Death Knight is being built currently for our Undead player. The Obsidian statue here to support the Undead army. This army, though, for the Zerg players looking really scary right now. Really heavy on the roaches, I gotta say. And yeah, we got fiends versus roaches. Crypt fiends versus roaches. Do we have web ability researched? Yes, we do, but no air units to speak of, so it won't matter too much. Looks like disease has been placed on all of these roaches. Literally all of them are diseased right now, and it makes sense. We have seen disease used on mechanical units, which I think is really funny. I think in one of my casts it was on Goliaths, so it was on Brood War Terran units. One thing I forgot to mention, though, about this mod is you can play Brood War as well, so it's a mix of Brood War, StarCraft 2, and Warcraft 3. It's such a sick mod. I love how it's basically the Super Smash Bros. Of Blizzard. When Blizzard was good, that kind of has to be said. The recent titles developed by them are questionable, to say the least, but that's all I'm going to say for now, because we got some action right here in the middle of the map. This army, though, for the Zerg player is looking really, really big. I mean, the total supply is in favor for the Zerg player. 129 supply right now to 107, and it just jumped up to 140 and now went down to 130. I like this, though, mixing up the Hydras as well. A lot of the stuff going down for Kytrion, but Kytrion, all things considered, taking out a lot of the Zerg stuff, running back home. What level is our Death Knight? The Death Knight is at level 4. He has a Scroll of Town Portal that he can purchase. He can also purchase some slippers as well. Or maybe these were already purchased. Actually, I think these are already in his inventory. So he's got Slippers of Agility +3 ×2, actually, and a Scroll of Town Portal. Let me know down in the comments if this is his inventory or if this is something he can buy. It says purchase, but I'm pretty sure he has to actually go to the Tomb of Relics to buy stuff. So I think he already has that stuff. Rosebudio commenting on the disease damage over time ability. At the same time, though, taking out base number 3 for Kytrion, and Kytrion is now down to 3 bases once more. This Death Knight trying to get a good engagement, but just takes so much damage. Do we have extra damage that is dealt by the Hydras? No, I don't think so. And yeah, no extra damage to heroes from the roaches as well. So maybe it's only on the workers to balance things out in the early game, because having a hero in your mineral line at like the 2-minute mark would be infuriating to deal with if you didn't have a tool to deal with it. A lot of these Zerg units going down, though. The range on these meat wagons is kind of ridiculous. The Crypt Fiend's also pretty tanky, and I think Kytrion will come out ahead in this engagement. I would like to see him expand. He is replacing the base he just lost, to be fair. Now, both players are floating a decent chunk of change, but it looks like the Zerg player is starving for gas. Now, let's see what we have in terms of the, yeah, the production for our Undead player. This looks so crazy in the StarCraft 2 engine. I know these aren't the reforged models, and I've said it before, but seeing them in kind of like an HD backdrop, being the StarCraft 2 maps, it honestly just looks so sick. I like this infestors mixed into this army. We don't see these things too often these days, I feel like. Now, what do we have on the Undead side of the map in terms of army? Let's take a look at the units. Looks like 2 necromancers. We have 52 ghouls, which I guess kind of are like a mix of workers and army. Mostly workers, though. 9 crypt fiends and 6 meat wagons. No hero unit to speak of right now, it looks like. The Death Knight is on the way, though. It's almost finished. A lot of static defense here for our Undead player, that has to be said. The Spirit Towers, which are upgraded from the Ziggurats, which also provide supply for those unfamiliar with the Undead. Looks like Fungal doesn't work against units in multiplayer. Okay, interesting. So, yeah. One thing I was told about this replay being a PTR game is there are a couple bugs that have been discovered during the time of this replay. So, yep, it looks like Fungal does not work, but Kytrion saying it worked. I wonder, though. It didn't slow the meat wagon, so maybe there's some units that need a separate tag. To be fair, I haven't worked in the StarCraft 2 editor, so I'm not sure what fix would be required to remedy that. The Death Knight here as well. At level 5 right now, cleaning up some more creep camps and also picking up some more loot. What does he have now? A Mantle of Intelligence +3. Looks like this base, though, base number 4, will get sniped by Rosebudio. Rosebudio doing a great job at really keeping the Undead player contained, at least where economy is concerned, but this is a crazy looking army for the Undead player. The meat wagons supporting this, the Obsidian statue supporting this army as well, throwing down Essence of Blight, which I'm pretty sure heals. Yep, it heals friendly units, which is awesome. And it's just, yeah, it's an automatic trigger. And it has so much energy in the bank. 600 energy is kind of wild. Here we go. Looks like all these Zerg units going down, but oh man, wait a minute. The Death Knight has been mind controlled just briefly by the infestor. That's insane. Wow, okay, that was cool to see. I did not know you could do that. Using a neural parasite on a hero unit is actually insane. The Death Knight did ultimately go down. This army is looking crazy. Oh, and it looks like the Ultralisks are fixed. In my last replay featuring them, the Ultras were frozen in place. They were like statues. It was kind of hilarious. They still did damage, but yeah, they were completely frozen. It was kind of hard to see what they were doing in terms of attack. The Ultras going down, though. Kytrion with kind of a tanky army, I want to say. The meat wagons as well as the Obsidian statue to support them. I just choked on my own tongue. Don't worry about it. The Overlord here as well with the disease. This poor Overlord. He's like, I was just chilling and then I got pinged. What the hell, man? He's not taking damage, though. Oh, no, he is. But he's also restoring health at a similar rate. So it was hard to see. Looks like this base under fire by the Zerglings. The meat wagons, though, supporting this, but it looks like the base did go down nonetheless. Oh man, these Crypt Fiends, they are at 1-1. Actually, speaking of upgrades, what do we have? It looks like 2 range attack for the Zerg, and then 1-1 in terms of melee and armor. And where the Undead are concerned, I think they're just at 1-1. Okay, not bad. A slight upgrade lead for our Zerg player, but nothing too substantial just yet, especially because we do have a lot of melee, considering we have Ultras right here, which are at 1-1. The Hydras will do a little bit of extra damage, but there's only 1 here. Let's take a look at the units. How many Hydras do we have? We have 9 on the field right now. And looks like this creep camp, one of the final creep camps, one of the 2 final creep camps, will be taken out by our Zerg player. What level is the Death Knight, actually? Oh, a Lich on the way, as well as a Dreadlord. I think the Lich just finished. Yep, so the Lich is right here, likely at level 1. Yes, it is. Taking a look at the Death Knight, he is still at level 5. So yeah, it has to be said, the level up mechanics are greatly reduced for the Warcraft players, which I think is fair because there is no such thing as a hero unit for the vanilla StarCraft 2 races. Oh man, a lot of Overlords going down though. A lot of disease here as well being put on these Zerg units, but the surround on the meat wagons, they will all go down. The Crypt Fiends right here still alive, but there's not a lot of them. And yep, okay, so what is this? They have, oh, they're animated right now, so I think they will time out. I believe that was from the Necromancer, if I'm not mistaken. So they will do some damage. They'll take out this macro hatchery. Not bad. And I just want to see them go down. Yep, there they go. They have expired. Meanwhile, some more action here on the Undead side of the map. Looks like base number 3. I think this is base number 3 or 4. Can't remember. I think base number 4 actually will go down. Kytrion cannot get a break. Here's another base that was spotted by our Zerg player. The ghouls pulled from the mineral line to try and help defend this. I think some Crypt Fiends coming to try and defend as well. Crypt Fiends as well as Abominations, but this base will ultimately go down. And the ghouls, man, they are tanky. How much health do they have? They have 80 HP, and that's actually really good. That's not bad for what is effectively a worker. These Abominations, though, are they considered massive? Yes, they are. So 2 massive units, or unit types, I guess, going against each other, but the Ultras absolutely wiping the floor with them. And this base in the middle right-hand side of the map, once again getting spotted. These ghouls are like, oh my god, what job are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to attack or mine? Oh, nice. The Scroll of Town Portal being used on this Undead army. Kytrion trying to take out this stuff, and the ghouls actually doing a ton of damage. All this Zerg stuff getting cleaned up. I was convinced this base would go down, but the Necropolis has survived. Our Death Knight is now at level 10, so he leveled up really quick all of a sudden, forcing the retreat of these drones from, what is this? I think this is the 4th base location. This base will go down. Kytrion doing some damage of his own. Taking a look at the workers killed, relatively even. Resources lost, also almost identical, so not bad. More Ultras on the way, or at least 1 more Ultralisk on the way, as well as 16 Zerglings. And I love this. The web on the Overlords, they will get taken out. Whoever thought we would see web being placed on an Overlord? I like this mix of units for the Undead player, but the Ultralisks, I mean, they are just so good. Oh, the reanimate, though, on these Warcraft 3 units, bringing back a lot of these units from the dead and taking out the Ultras. So while the Ultras were able to take out the initial army, reanimate brought them back. And Rosebudio saying, fuck hell, animate dead is so good. And Kytrion agreeing with that. Able to take out this base before those units expired. Is animate dead from a... I'm pretty sure it's from... Oh, no. So it's not from the... It's not from the Necromancers. It's actually from the Death Knight itself, which makes sense because that ability is crazy. Having it from a non-unique unit would be kind of insane. Oh, man, this base also under fire. Taking a look at the supply, 114 total supply to 134. Still in favor for the Zerg player, but let's take a look at what that supply is. So it looks like, wait, is that 15 army supply? Is that what I'm seeing? That doesn't seem right. And 67 army supply for our Zerg player. So I would say the Zerg player is ahead in army supply, but I don't know if I can trust what I just saw. But it's possible that was correct. The Death Knight, the sole survivor of this undead army, will try to run away. How much HP does he have? He has 580 base HP at level 10. Will kind of survive these Zerglings trying to get the surround on him. Eventually, the Death Knight will go down. What units do we have on the field? Looks like the Lich is not alive right now, so no hero units for our undead player until that thing gets respawned. Here we go. I think this is like, what, base number 6? 5 or 6 going down for the undead player. So much going on right now. Taking a look at the units, looks like 37 ghouls to 59 drones. Taking a look at the workers killed, still relatively even, to be honest. What's going on here, though? It looks like Rosebudio is running back home. Maybe he's not confident in this army until he consolidates everything, or he's going for this base, which he knows hasn't died yet, and I think that's probably what's going to happen. Looks like it was spotted once again by Rosebudio. No way this base survives, I gotta say it. And it will go down. These ghouls are like, you know what, screw this, we are running back home. We're not paid enough to deal with these monstrosities that are the Zerg units. Oh man, a lot of abominations here, though. Speaking of monstrosities, and these, how much damage do they do? 66 versus armored. That is actually insane. I think it was 39. Yep, 39 base damage and 66 versus armored. Not bad at all. 300 HP as well on those things. I mean, ultras are crazy. They are armored, to be fair, but they have 500 HP right now, which is absolutely insane. It's what you would expect for like a tier 3 ground unit, though. I mean, to be fair, Zerg doesn't have a lot of higher tier units outside of, like, I want to say Broodlords and Ultras. I feel like those are the only two noteworthy ones. Oh, good timing for Rosebudio, taking out that Acolyte, denying the placement of that Necropolis. The surround here on this one as well. How many times has this base gone down? This is at least like the 5th time, if not the 6th, to be honest. Ooh, I like this. Looks like, what is he? The Dreadlord here, as well as the Death Knight. To be fair, the Dreadlord is only at level 1. The Lich here as well, likely at level 1. Yes, he is, but still nice to have those heroes nonetheless. Now, I don't know if this is still a thing, but I don't think you can use Vipers to abduct hero units. Let me know down in the comments, Kytrion or Rosebudio or whoever else is familiar with this mod, if that is still a thing. I know, like I said, this is a PTR game, so that may have changed during balancing. A decent engagement here, though. Kind of on the undead side of the map. The Hydra's lunging away from the undead army, and to be fair, this undead army is looking crazy. The Lich leveling up here in the middle of this engagement. Man, lunge just adds so much utility for Hydralisks, I feel like. Able to kite most of this stuff. I mean, to be fair, the meat wagons do have a lot of range, but the abominations are melee only, and now we are officially on the creep, but I'm pretty sure the creep and blight are pretty much the same in this mod, so both of these races should benefit from being on the creep slash the blight. This base will go down simultaneously, though. The Hydra's here spotting this 4th base location. I think 4th base location, to be honest, I've lost track. Oh, what is this, though? Rosebudio doing a worker pull. Going for, I think, a base race. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the stuff is mined out, and he can't build another base. He doesn't have the money for it. So he's going all in right now. The drones, though, going down. The workers killed count is now at 23 killed by purple and 19 killed by blue. Oh, yep, here we go. What is this? The drones still alive, destroying the haunted gold mine. That is kind of hilarious. This base, though, with the spine crawlers, will have some extra defense, and I feel like this is basically the most important base for Rosebudio at this point in the game. If he loses that, I mean, he's not going to have virtually any other mining base except for the one on the bottom left-hand side. So he's still got 2 mining bases. Kytrion, though, throwing out the GGs. Rosebudio commenting that this was a close game. Kytrion agreeing with him and leaving, giving the victory to our purple Zerg player. Big shout out, by the way, to all my members and patrons. As always, I really appreciate the extra mile going in to support me. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.